I feel like we are our own greatest critic. We are our own greatest hater. And I mean that in every way possible. Especially it's more prevalent when you're in a position wherein you're happy, wherein you're in a great position. And that's where the self-sabotage comes in. It's, it's an act wherein we downplay and degrade our own efforts. And I just don't mean that in a way wherein it's not common. And I think it's more prevalent than we think because, we're so scared of being happy in the moment that we feel like, it will come to an end so fast. Wherein, you feel like the happiness that you feel right now comes with a great cause, comes with a great suffering after the fact. And I mean, it's understandable, right? It's a valid fear. I think everyone feels that way in some way or to some degree and at the point of their life or in some point of their life. And I don't know, it's more common than you think. Self-sabotage. It's wherein you do things that you will sabotage yourself. As the name suggests, self-sabotage. In acts like, not crediting yourself, acts like, not giving your all, so that when something fails that you like doing, it won't hurt that much. You know what I'm saying? And it's not something that people consciously accept. They don't accept it actively. Like they're not, or they're in denial of the fact that they sabotage themselves. And I think I'm not only speaking for myself here when I say that it gets scary when you're too happy in life. When everything goes according to your plan, when everything is so great, when everything is so perfect, when everything in your life just falls into places. It's scary. It's very scary. I almost cursed there. I don't know. I think it's a natural instinct. Well, I don't know if I can align it with natural instinct, but more so maybe from previous experiences or from your past. That you weren't aware how it contributed to how you see the world, how you see happiness, how you see great things happening in your life, and you see them as not for what they are. You see them as something that's threatening. Instead of celebrating them, you're being threatened. And it's sad. It's sad to think about that there are actually people like that. And while I'm not, of course, I'm an expert in this kind of field, it's just something that I thought that maybe I should share with some people and that they might relate and realize that they're actually doing that thing. They're actually self-sabotaging, right? And I don't know, it's something that once you realize that you're actually doing it, you'll have the epiphany of some sort. You'll have an epiphany wherein, maybe that's why I'm doing this kind of things. Or maybe that's why I'm not crediting myself more. And it stems from the fact that you're sabotaging yourself in order for you not to get that hurt when something fails. And I don't know, it may be something like a defense mechanism that you've developed because of your past, because of your past experiences that you had, because of some things that you blacked out in your head, blacked out in your memories or some sort. And of course, that's understandable, right? And it's not something that we can just solve immediately. It's something that we have to work on thoroughly, that we have to work on putting our all into it, because it's not something that's easy to do, as I've said. And I know it's trivial if in some way, but and absurd. It's as absurd as it may sound, it's actually happening. It's more prevalent than you think, wherein people tend to like sabotage themselves, sabotage without them realizing that that they're doing it. Just like a defense mechanism, to shield themselves from the possible harm that may come from doing something. And although I'm not saying that this happens to everyone, right? I'm not saying that this happens to every single person in the world. And I'm just saying that it's more common than you think. And while you may think that that's not the case, it's also possible that it's not the case because people are oblivious to that fact. People are ignorant to that fact, that they don't recognize it, that they're not aware of it, right? And or I'm just blurting out chicken poops. I'm just blurting out nonsensical things. That's also possible. That I'm just a delusional person, that I'm just being delulu with the things that I'm saying right now. If they're not making sense to you, that's also possible. And you're free to think that way. You're free to think that about me. And I just think that it's something that I genuinely believe in, that's actually happening. And of course, coming from experience as well. And although I've not overcome it completely yet, it's something that I'm still working on. That's why I think that it exists. And I hope in some way, I think this sounds bad, but I hope in some way that I'm not the only one experiencing this. I know that sounds bad, okay? But I'm not praying for your downfall, okay? I'm not praying for that. I'm not hoping for that. It's just that I'm hoping that maybe I'm not the only one on this take. I don't know, just to validate my feelings. I don't know. I'm just kidding. I don't know. It's as I've said, but I'm serious when I say that it's possible that I'm just delusional, right? And it's a possibility, a huge possibility. And maybe I'm making sense to you. I don't know. It's up to you to believe whether to believe me or not. And I guess that's about it. Stay awesome.